What's poppin', y'all? The XXL freshman list for 2026 has come out, and I haven't even looked at it. But there are some very important points made by an alumni of XXL for 2024 of the freshman list, and that is by Rich Amiri. So he would go out and say the following: I ain't saying the freestyle should just end forever, but if XXL is supposed to introduce new artists, the format gotta evolve with the generation it's covering. This current format is not a showcase. That ish is a trap. The freestyles worked a decade ago because that was a better reflection of what people valued in new rap artists at the time. But now a lot of artists break through because of their melodies, production choices, personality, hooks, visuals, etc. I think this is a very good point made by him. I do have a couple of different things to add on to it though. Number one, I cover rap. I'm actually very into music. This year, I would say the past 7 months, I've been more into music than I have been for a couple of years. Like I listen to a lot more music now. I feel like we're in an open world game right now where you can just discover music as you wish. So it's really amazing. However, when it comes to the XXL freshman list, I don't care at all. So what does that say? XXL brand, last year, I don't really remember. I think this year, I don't even have the inkling or the itch to look up who's on it. I know Trim is on it because her freestyle of sounding exactly like Nicki Minaj was popping off. But other than that, I don't really know who's on it. And I think I know some guy that I forgot. I think he was on a Kevin Gates feature. But XXL, they do have the brand still. Like so many people would love to be a part of XXL. So I don't understand why they don't get a new format. Like the freestyle, especially the freestyle without the backtrack, just the acapella, that thing they need to get rid of that. I do think the cypher has its place. I do think one more thing could happen is let's just brainstorm, right? Like if we want to get XXL back popping, who is the most popping guy in music right now is Plaqueboymax. I don't care what anybody says. And he's popping because youth are watching him. He's involved in music. He makes music. He's Grammy nominated. He's made some good music and he works with artists and he understands artists because he's an artist as well. So you need to get Plaqueboymax involved. Would Plaqueboymax be willing to do something for the XXL freshman list? Absolutely. Of course. And they did this with producers. Like they would always have producers that were popping at the time and they would have them do the DJing or whatever, or the production for the cypher. However, I don't think they just need to come in on the cypher and hit it on the spot because a lot of these newer rappers, they are good song makers. They're there to make a song. And I think you can fuse the Plaqueboymax in the booth style, which I know some people will be like, yo, that's just taken in the cave or whatever. Listen, okay, we've got a new form. It's an updated version of that. But you get a Plaqueboymax. I think you create a posse track and you release the posse track as an actual song. So you get all of these different artists and you see how you kind of have them work together, pick a beat that they can all get on. And now we get this a little bit of nostalgia, or not nostalgia, but back then. So a posse cut was like you get this big crew and they all hop on a song. Like for example, I don't know if One Blood is considered a posse cut, but the One Blood remix, it had just damn near everybody on it. I remember, like, for example, a posse is like a huge crew, like G-Unit, right? Everybody from G-Unit on one song. Or Odd Future. Everybody from Odd Future on one song. That's a posse cut. So you create a posse cut track, and then you have the investment from the people of them. Like, it may be an edited video. It doesn't have to be live streamed. I think live streaming it would do too much because XXL, they have to prepare it, package it, and then put it out there. And this is the annual thing that they do every single year. So you have everybody. I don't think everybody should make a song. That would work a little bit. I think that's a possibility too. But I think it would be better if they just have one posse cut. And then now you cut up this posse cut, you put it out, Plaqueboymax puts it out or something like that. And then now you've got this new, like, revamped thing that's going on. Because I still think that XXL is important because they give a range of different artist styles. Like these other guys that have done it, I think it was, who was it? Underground Sound, I think it was, and somebody else. I had covered both of them and I thought it was dope, but they cover a subsection of rap. They don't cover what's popping across everything. And there's nothing that's universally popping anymore because rap is so big and music is so big. But XXL does do a good job at, okay, we've got a street rapper, we've got a local rapper, we've got a lyrical rapper, we've got an underground rapper, and that's hard to put together a roster like that. So I do think that's the proposition that XXL still has, and they've still got the editor and the talent that's making sure to pick the right people, but they need to be presented better because there's no reason why I should not care whatsoever about who's on the XXL freshman list. It also makes me wonder if brands or like publications themselves are dying. Like they still have the brand equity, I guess. Like XXL still means something. The source still means something, or like you feel that it means something. But if there isn't a face to something, I feel like it's hard to get invested in it nowadays. Yeah, you've got like hell, Nike, right? Nike's always had faces. You've had Michael Jordan, Travis Scott is a face of Nike right now. Hell, you've got this dude Marlon is one of the faces of Nike. With XXL, for a long time, they faces of the rappers kind of carried it. Of course, XXL already had the brand, but the faces of the rappers kept it going because there was at least one star at the time on every single one. And now I think there are more rumors that people are declining it. And if people are I think the first star that declined XXL and that sent off this cascading effect was Post Malone. I think Post Malone declined it. I think Nav even declined it. And now if you know that you're a rapper and you don't need it anymore, at that time that Post Malone declined it, it definitely was a bump to your career. Like people saw an increased jump. But I think the problem with the freestyles and the cypher that Rich Amiri didn't cover all the way is that the anxiety that comes with it. And I think a lot of rappers now, they look at clipping culture. Like for example, even before clipping was a culture, you guys remember Lil Mosey? Lil Mosey and Coi Leray, their XXL like freshman things were not at all representative of, well, for Coi Leray, it kind of was. The type of music that she was making at the time was not good. But Lil Mosey had dropped some good songs. But everybody just clowned Mosey for that. So that was a lot of people's first introduction to Mosey because people followed XXL. And this was at least 6 years ago. So this was a different time where everyone was paying attention to what happened on the XXL freshman list. So if the negative is that you get clowned, you embarrass yourself, and you look bad, versus the positive is what, you just stay the same? Because you're not going to get a big jump from it. You're not going to get a bunch more deals from it, at least from what I've seen. Or you could just keep doing your own thing, keep building your fan base, and control what it is that comes out about you. You control the music that you put out, you control your brand, you control your image, and you're not subject to whatever the editor-in-chief has to put out. And at this point, I'm wondering if the XXL freshman list is getting desperate and they're just like, yo, we need people on here because this is the one event that they have all year. Nobody cares about anything else that XXL has. And for it to be such a weak, like not even create a moment, so much so that I'm going to repeat this for the third time, that I don't care. And I'm not going to look it up. And I don't think it's going to find me either. I just scrolled right past it. It's funny because what's his name had offered them, DJ Vlad had offered to buy XXL a while back. And it's definitely worth a lot less now than whatever he had offered them. I think he had offered them like $4 million. So the brand, like I said, it's a legacy brand. It's still worth a lot, but they need a partnership. You guys, they need, it's not necessarily like partnering with a streamer, but you need to have a face of XXL that is somebody or some bodies that are known to cover music, to cover rap music, and to be on the cutting edge, and to be able to put together something new that isn't the cypher or the freestyle, but isn't too far away from the cypher or the freestyle, that is going to make people want to say, yo, I gotta tap in this year. Not for the people that are going to be on it, but for what is happening on it. Like, for example, Plaqueboymax, he did some in the booth with this German artist, and I didn't know who the hell the guy was. But because Plaqueboymax is doing an in the booth, I'm going to watch it because I trust his taste. Do I like the artist that he likes? No. Do I like that thong song? Nah, I actually don't. That's just a little bit of an update for the people that were there for the previous video where I was like, yo, he actually got me to check out the song, listen to it a couple more times. I haven't gone back to it since. So it didn't stick. But what I'm saying is that I trust Plaqueboymax as somebody that is plugged in, tapped in, and is going to bring somebody on that is making something shake. He's not bringing on a total random, and he's also not bringing on, well, he is bringing on popular people when he can, but there's a good mix there, and that is what XXL needs. But let me know what y'all think in the comments. Like and subscribe and hit the notification bell if you enjoyed. And let me know what suggestions do you think XXL could do to get people to care again. And I'm going to see you on the next one.